What's going on YouTube? It's Mike and Mitch from Quickie DFS here to break down another showdown slate for you guys. Tonight we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Arizona Cardinals. We have the Vegas odds pulled up on our screen, and I'm going to let Mitch talk about that with you guys.
What's up, guys? Vegas initially opened this game up at a 52.5, and I thought the total was going to rise more, without the Davante Adams news going out to COVID. But with the news, him and Lazard going out, it lowered the total to 2 points, and that's not as a significant drop as I thought we were going to see when Davante Adams and Allen Lazard got ruled out. So Vegas still says it's going to be a pretty high-scoring game, but I do think that we got robbed of an even better game because the Cardinals are undefeated and the Green Bay Packers are 6-1, and the knock on the Cardinals is that they haven't necessarily played anyone that can keep up with them. The Rams weren't able to keep up with them, for instance. The Browns weren't able to keep up. But so maybe the Packers were going to be able to keep up and really challenge this Cardinals offense. But with Davante Adams and Allen Lazard going down, it's going to be hard, I think, for the Packers to keep up to this high-powered offense. But I do think there is a potential way that they can through Aaron Jones. And we'll let you talk about Aaron Jones really quick.
So, Aaron Jones with no Davante Adams through 6 games, guys. This is dating back to 2019 through 2020. Through 6 games, he has 34 targets, 29 receptions, 337 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That is something you definitely want to play in a showdown, especially if you don't have their main wide receiver. With that being said, Aaron Jones will be my MVP tonight because I expect him to have a crazy workload. And keep in mind, that was also when he split the backfield with Jamal Williams, who I personally think is better than A.J. Dillon. So now I still think Aaron Jones gets more of a workload than he has before with those 6 games without Davante Adams, between 19 and 20.
Yeah, so that's a significant bump considering, it being a running back, the amount of targets he gets out of the backfield. And in 6 games without Davante Adams, he had 4 touchdowns, I think you said?
Yeah, it was 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, so that's almost a touchdown a game. I know it's hard to kind of bank on touchdowns, but this is who the offense is going to run through. And with Adams and Lazard going down, does it make you feel any different about Aaron Rodgers?
So I've always said in my showdowns, play 2 quarterbacks. Always do it. I don't expect Green Bay to win. I don't. So I'll probably have some Aaron Rodgers, but not as much as I usually would if Davante Adams was there, even with Allen Lazard there too.
Yeah, so I think Aaron Rodgers is still a great option, and I personally will be playing them both because I do think with the total here, they're banking on them scoring 4 touchdowns. The Cardinals at home, so that Aaron Rodgers is going to have to throw an incredible amount. To keep up to that 4 touchdown mark that Vegas had thrown out on the Cardinals. So I do think he's going to have to throw. But to your point, it's, who is he going to throw to? You have, big Rob Tonyan here, but he's a tight end. I mean, he's maybe get a couple red zone looks, but he's not that impressive. I mean, we've watched him play. He's not.
So now, I actually drafted him in a few of my season longs. I wish I never did. I do think that he's a good player. It's just that he hasn't really produced this year. And he has had Davante Adams around him, obviously. Same with Allen Lazard. I just don't know if he gets it done tonight. I think I'm leaning some of the cheaper receivers they have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't dislike it. I think he's going to have higher ownership than pretty much all of Green Bay wide receiver pass catchers, other than maybe Randall Cobb. The ownership will probably go Cobb and then Tonyan, I would think, as far as pass catchers. Obviously, Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers are going to be the highest owned Packers. But pass catchers, it'll probably go Cobb and Tonyan, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So just a couple punts on the Packers team. And I would like to note really quick, A.J. Dillon, you might think with Davante Adams going out, they're going to use Aaron Jones in the passing game more, which would open up more running for A.J. Dillon. I don't actually think that's a scenario that plays out because I expect the Packers to be trailing. So I don't think that A.J. Dillon's going to fit the game script that I'm predicting, where he would get touches. Maybe if they were playing, someone like, sorry if you're a Broncos fan, but a Denver fan, there might be a window where A.J. Dillon does eat because they'll be eating clock and things like that. But I don't think this is a game where they're going to run the ball all that much. What is your take on A.J.?
I think, like I said it before, I won't be playing A.J. Dillon. If I'm going to get a running back, I'm just going to go Aaron Jones. And then I'd rather just play Randall Cobb for 500 more.
Yeah.
That's where I'm leaning. I do like the rookie they drafted, Rodgers. I think this is a time for him to shine. He hasn't really touched the ball, guys, but they drafted him, I'm pretty sure, in the first round, or it was a high second. So it is his time to shine. I also like St. Brown from the Green Bay Packers. It's hard because we haven't really seen these guys do anything with Aaron Rodgers, and we don't really know what they expect tonight.
So one person that Mike didn't mention that I think is actually a really good play, could be a really good play on both sites, is Mercedes Lewis. He in the past couple weeks he's had targets, and that was when Davante Adams was around. So that's with Davante Adams being there. Now that he's not there, I could see Mercedes Lewis. I don't think he's going to bust out a huge 50-yard, 75-yard touchdown. Don't get me wrong, but if he can get you 5 catches and 55 yards, that'll be fine. He doesn't even have to reach the end zone at this price. So I would like to take a punt on Mercedes Lewis, I think, tonight. Now moving on to the Cardinal side, there's so much to like on the Cardinal side. DeAndre Hawkins, right before we got on this video, I got a Schefter tweet that told me he's going to be expected to play tonight. So the questionable tag will go away. Hopkins is expected to play, but
he's dealing with it. He's actually hurt. There's something going on with him.
He has done well in this offense. Obviously, he's been getting a lot of targets, but there does seem to be something wrong with him.
He's always questionable.
But I do like him. He without Davante Adams. Yeah. He's the wide receiver.
He's the number one, yeah.
He's the wide receiver you pay for. Aaron Jones is also there. But you don't have to debate between Davante Adams or Hopkins. You could just pick Hopkins now. The one Cardinal that I'm there's 2 Cardinals I'm really high on tonight. But one of them being Chase Edmonds. And this is kind of game script dependent. If the Packers are able to keep it close, that's kind of why Chase hasn't really had that ceiling game yet, is because the Cardinals aren't able to have an opponent that could keep it up with them, and he's such a pass catching back that he's going in a trailing game or in a game that they're going to be scoring, he's going to be catching balls out of the backfield, and it's not going to be the James Conner show that we've seen. And I want to mention really quick, the last 3 weeks he had a shoulder injury. He was on questionable, and he was on the shoulder injury. So, but he doesn't have a tag going into this week. So I expect the workload to pick back up. I think that's why his workload was down over the past 2 weeks. So I'm really high on Chase Edmonds if we think the Packers could keep this close.
I do like Chase Edmonds. I get behind it 100%. I love the pass catching running backs. I've said that before. The only thing I do hate is if they do get up, though. It wouldn't surprise me if they do get up. James Conner is going to run that ball a ton if they do get up.
Look at all his touchdowns. Yeah. That's
the thing with it. Like, if you expect this game to stay close and shoot out, you play Chase Edmonds hoping he gets his catches, in my opinion. But if you expect it to be a blowout and that the Cardinals get up by a ton, I would play James Conner just because that seems who they run the ball with more.
Yeah, no, that's 100% right. Once they get up, they're going to pound the ball, or once they get in the red zone, they just feed James Conner. You're kind of banking on a touchdown pretty much, and the game script that they blow the Packers out.
I really like Zach Ertz tonight. I say that because Kyler Murray has never really had like a tight end. I know he's fresh into the league, guys. I get that, but he's never played with a good pass catching tight end ever. He probably did in college. I don't know who his tight end was. I know it wasn't Mark Andrews. I just know he hasn't had anybody like Ertz at the tight end position. So I do really like Ertz. He got his 5 targets in his first game with Kyler and a touchdown. So they've already built more chemistry since then because it's been a whole 2 weeks now. So I do lean Ertz as a high. He's one of my higher plays tonight. I'm high on him.
Yeah, it's funny that the kind of impression of Ertz over the last year had changed so much. He was so washed back in the Eagles. It was Dallas Go Dirt everyone was so excited about, and then he just kind of like reincarnated Zach Ertz. It's funny that he rushed for a touchdown last week, or got stopped right at the one, and it was like he fumbled it, but it got called back through review that he was down at the one. So it's just funny to see him rushing in a touchdown last week or attempting to. But the last Cardinal that I really like is AJ Green. I think he's kind of expensive on FanDuel. I don't know that I would pay AJ Green's price here. I would probably lean like the tight end that Mike talked about, or the 2 running backs that we had mentioned. But AJ Green, another person, just reincarnated his career.
Silently doing something.
Yeah. I mean, the targets are there. I don't hate it. I actually do like AJ Green, and I think I like him on DraftKings a little bit more. He was a little bit cheaper for me on DraftKings. Like, he's right below Chase and them, below Kirk and everything. So I like him a little bit more on DraftKings. But we'll mention Rondell Moore, but I'm not too high on him tonight. I'd rather play Chase or something.
Yeah, I'll have no Rondell Moore. If I'm gonna grab some receivers, it's gonna be Hopkins, AJ, and Ertz, and then I do like Chase Edmonds, as you mentioned. But my 2 main guys tonight, well, I'll go 3. I'll say Zach Ertz, Aaron Jones, and let's go Rob Tonyan.
Yeah.
Bob Tonyan.
Yeah, I think Mike kind of went a little contrarian. Obviously, you're going to love Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray, so I'm not going to mention them. But I'm not going to give any picks, but I'll give a bold prediction on Chase Edmonds. I think this game does stay pretty close, and I think Chase Edmonds is leaned upon pretty heavily this game. And I'd like to see him go for 2 touchdowns. I know it's a kind of a steep thing to say because he hasn't had a touchdown at all throughout the season, but it's a bold call. I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds at 2 touchdowns, and I'm going to have him in my captain in at least one of the 3 lineups that I'm going to make. So I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds, a big night, and that's all I got for the video.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps this up. One thing I do want to say is we've been smashing NBA. We had a big win yesterday. It was 2 days ago, actually. Please check us out for our NBA, NHL. We have NFL as well at Quickie DFS on Twitter. And that pretty much wraps up this video. Please like and subscribe and have a good one, guys.